joined by the head football coach of the Brownsburg Bulldogs, Brett Comer. And Brett, I'm a Plainfield grad, so I have to have Paul Condry sit between us, as I might climb over him and try to replay.
Well, our kids don't look at it that way anymore.
Try to replay the old days, but
it's okay.
Be that as it may, let's talk about your matchup in sectional number 6, Indianapolis Arsenal Technical at your place. You're in the top half of the bracket, Terre Haute South at number 13, Zionsville. And in the bottom half, number 8, Ben Davis at Avon, number 10, Pike at Terre Haute North. Let's focus, if you can, on your matchup with Tech.
Well, I can't tell you anything about them because we honestly know nothing.
It's probably a good thing, though, right?
Haven't looked into them. We really haven't scouted ahead, if you will. We're worried about beating Fishers on Friday. That's a big game for our program, big game for their program. So that's at our place as well.
Yeah, let's just digress though a little bit and talk about the matchup, because in a lot of respects, I mean, everywhere Rick Wimmer's been, he's won. He might be one of those kinds of coaches who can win anywhere, and that is a unique talent to win the way he's won.
Sure.
At 3 different situations. Yeah. I mean, 4 years, and now they're ranked in the top 10. I hate to bring all this up since you're playing them Friday, but what you've done is come back to a program that has a rich heritage, has had great success, won state championships,
right.
And both of you playing at a very, very high level. This is not just a regular season ending game. This has conference implications.
This
is a very, very big game.
You bet. Well, I'll send a shout out to Rick that I was one of his players at a Bishop and Dolahan camp when I was a kid, so he's a really old guy.
Yikes.
So. And
you're
right.
Bringing that wheelchair out.
I'm going to bring that too, or some crutches or something. But in the last, you're right. In our 4 years, we've continued to progress and won more and more games.
Right.
Friday night we had an opportunity to control our own destiny, and we weren't able to do it. Losing to Zionsville is 7-0.
Right.
We still have a shot. We're rooting for McCutcheon. I can tell you that.
I understand.
Friday night at Southeastern. I believe they're at Southeastern, but. We had to talk with our kids about that today, but, we need to make sure we take care of our end or our part of that equation. We're going to listen to we told our kids to listen to your show for about 15 seconds tonight and turn it off
right.
Because it doesn't mean anything.
Well, we talked about that at the end, how tough it must be for everyone.
Man, it is, because you want to look ahead, and right now our year's gone really well. At 6-2 last year, we were 5-6 on the year. So we've been able to take those steps with the resources that have been presented to us, and we've done that well, I think. We're proud of our kids and where we are, and win, lose, or draw Friday night, we're still proud of our kids, but it's going to be a lot of fun looking at that next season, if you will, as well.
Brought a couple dynamics at play. You and I talked during the offseason. One of the reasons that you guys have made the progress that you've had is because you've done a great job in the weight room. Your strength and conditioning program has really kind of put you over the top, and also you've got one of the premier players in the state, though, the big wide receiver who's going to Purdue, and I tell you what, I don't want to botch the name, but he's a pretty special kid. And Charles Torwudzo, did I get it right?
Yeah, Charles Torwudzo, you bet.
Yeah, he's a special talent.
Charles is a tough matchup. And I guess we weren't smart enough as coaches to get him the ball enough Friday night. Then again, in 8 inches of mud at Zionsville, that was a little difficult. We certainly tried to on several occasions, but you're right. In the weight room progression, we got to give all the credit in the world to our head strength coach, Brian Neese. He's made a big difference. We've gone from 9th to 5th to 3rd at Ben Davis in the lift contest. And that's made a big difference for us on the football field.
When you look at the dynamics of the program back in 1985 state championship, and I need to, my buddy Steve McIntyre was the quarterback on that Hobart team that lost in that state championship game, and you remember that, and Mike and Mike Godin, those guys, it was a pretty special moment. Do you think the community still remembers the days of 1985 and that final play of the game?
You know what, I know they do, because I certainly see some faces at some games that I turn around, because I was on both those teams. And, I still have those rings, and I know the people still remember it, or at least some of them do. Our kids don't have a clue what we're talking about or what I'm talking about.
That's probably a good thing, though.
You know what? It's not bad, but they know we have a tradition because they still see that state championship, those trophies, and they still see that up there for 84, 85. And we're proud of the past, but we're also proud of what we're doing right now.
Brett Comer, Brownsburg High School. Thanks for coming by. Good luck this weekend, and good luck next week.
Yep, thank you.
We'll be joined by Tim Abel, the head coach at New Palestine. And
speaking of great jobs, that guy has done a spectacular job.
Well, you know what? It's not easy to take over a program. It doesn't matter whether they've had success. When you come in, you put your stamp on them. You have a new terminology, new staff. Everything is new, and what New Pal has done has been tremendous. And the head coach of the Dragons, Tim Abel joins us. New pal in sectional number 13 will take on Pendleton Heights. And, Tim, first of all, congratulations on the great run you and your guys have had to this point.
Well, thanks much. It's been a really neat thing, neat situation to get into. Got into it late, but hit the ground running, and things have worked out really well here of late.
18 seniors. That makes it a lot easier for you in the transitional department, Timmy. So let's talk about how those kids have stepped up and kind of bought into what you're trying to do.
Well, obviously with 18 kids, they've been through some tough times, had a couple seasons that they're used to winning, and they've had a couple where they didn't have as much success as they're used to. So it's been tough times for the seniors going to playing as sophomores and juniors. And so all winter long they didn't have a coach, and they're kind of waiting. They finally get one, and they're really good about it. They could have been really frustrated, but they're real good about it. Pick things up real quick. Totally dedicated, committed to what we asked them to do, and that pretty much has been 24/6 since we've signed on. So it's been a lot of work, a lot of time commitment, but the kids, to their credit, have bought in totally, and things are going well.
Your thoughts on the draw as a whole?
Well, anytime you're at home, that's a good step. Playing a team that we've played early in the year, so obviously you don't have a gauge on how much they've improved compared to how much we've improved, but you still have to play it on Friday nights. It's always harder the second time to play anybody like Pendleton Heights. And after that, I really couldn't tell you some of the teams we've seen, but Mount Vernon's on the other side. They're in our conference, who we play this week. But, we'll take care of that when we get to it. Right now, our whole focus is on Mount Vernon. Obviously, it's a rival, a county rival. It's a team that pretty much so kind of comes up in a conversation weekly. So our kids will hopefully be ready, and I know we got our hands full because they're a team that has been very talented, and obviously 2 or 3 plays from being a great record too. So we know we got our hands full, and Coach Peacock does a great job and runs a great program over there. So we're excited about it, but we also are prepared and have total respect for their program.
Tim Abel, the head coach at New Palestine, in sectional number 13. They take on Pendleton Heights at New Palestine on the 23rd, and this Friday taking on Mount Vernon. Tim, thanks for taking time. Best of luck next, not only Friday, but next Friday. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome. And